That sound is kind of interesting. 2025, 1955. There's your thought. She's been together for 70 years. And she still cranks. What are you doing, Dad? High five. Do. That's pretty neat looking. Dad, heck you doing? Working on the old turquoise torpedo, I see.
Yeah.
So what's the verdict on the old Super Red Ram 270 Hemi so far?
The jury's still out.
Yeah, well, we got her to rock a little bit. I can't remember if we showed that in the last video or not, but when we're looking at her, the engine did move just a skosh back and forth. Always a good sign. As you can see, we brought out the PB blaster and the CRC's knocker loose because we were working on the hinges, and as my grandpa would say, you know, you're doing your motor good, because minus that little squeak, all the doors work as they should now. And Dad did this door. You see how nice that is? I did this door. Now this is gonna fail. Watch this. Well, the front doors for some reason got some kind of squeakage to them. There, if we just open it that far, no squeakage. So yeah, I kind of did a little bit of cleaning, just wiped out some of the leaves just to reveal that sill plate, because that is just, oh. I didn't film my mom's reaction to the car. She fell in love with this thing just like Anna did, and that makes me happy. Whether or not we keep around for a long time, but it's just got so many things that we all dig. And how are the spark plugs, Dad?
Yeah, clean now. Oh,
wow.
I mean, like,
show us that first one, that number one. That one was really impeccable.
number one.
Look at that.
Number three. They're all the same.
Yeah, this engine is in really damn good shape. That's number 7.
Seven.
7 look good still?
Yeah, there's a little oil around it, like maybe somebody's already put some oil down there.
Well, I did just dump.
Old, 70 years old.
This whole car is actually just slowly coming to life. Once you just, I mean, we had the little guy and we started filling the carburetor with PB blaster and knocker loose. And if you do that with cans, it gets expensive. So I broke out the big jug, which the choke started moving, so that's one good thing.
Yeah, I haven't got the throttle shaft going yet.
Well, and it could be the pedal. The pedal was, well, I'll just show the pedal again. The accelerator pedal story is just a little bit tragic because, well, it's kind of just hoping on for hopes and dreams. That's all it's holding it on. And, yeah, I think it's, I think we might need to get another one of these. Or, yeah, backup plan, because I don't even see anything that this thing's connected to. It is dry. Well, it ain't even got a wire. It's just floating and they're doing absolutely nothing. Everything on that side of the engine was in really good shape, thank God. Now we're going to pull the passenger side and probably find out that this whole side looks like it came from the Titanic. As goes with Scott Luck. So, all right. Well, I hope you guys enjoy watching the rest of this as we take a deep dive into this Super Red Ram and what I'm unfortunately calling the turquoise torpedo. Because that's starting to, you know, I'm not saying I like it, but it's kind of working.
Yeah, the throttle is stuck. I unhooked it to the carburetor.
Uh-huh.
And the throttle is stuck, but so is the throttle shaft.
All right, well, I'll break out the heat.
Did you show him your chrome that you found under the seat?
No. Apparently, oh, you got it rolling?
Uh-huh.
We're missing both of our studs, but, yeah.
It's a Roya.
It's a special edition. You know, you couldn't afford that L. You know, it was an extra like 50 cents back in 1955, but yeah, it's kind of neat how, howdy everybody.
That'd be the original color back in there.
Yeah, I can't remember what that color is on our paint codes, but you could probably steel wool this thing and bring some of this back out. Number 2, number 4, number 6. That is one of the nicest things about this thing being a Hemi. Spark plugs. Very easy. Yeah. And number 8. Wow, it's almost like we took all these out and pre-cleaned them or something, or someone did. Wow, this is literally, this engine's not stuck from rust, it's just stuck from sitting. Looking at all 8 plugs, it's just stuck from being probably a tight tolerance engine like what Jonathan did. I wonder what the mileage is. We never checked the mileage on this thing, did we? All right, we're going to the dash. All right, let's see what we got. 47,113. That's hard to gauge. It looks like going off of the pedals, I don't know, about 147. That would be a lot. I'm kind of thinking this was a 47,000 original mile car that was parked, because I don't see it being 147. 147.
Well, you don't get a lot of miles if it would have come from Kansas City and just around town.
You kind of want, I mean, at 47,000 miles, but I mean, it's got rust, but I mean, if you look at how clean the body really is, and I know this was a parts car and it was stored indoors most of its life, at least from like 89 on further. So yeah, I mean, she's just in bad shape, but at the same time, I just don't see 147. But I mean, like even the seats, I mean, besides them being torn, they're not completely like just, let's just say they don't have 100,000+ miles of ass wear, in my opinion. Maybe they do, I don't know. Anyways, so that's really impressive, the engine's health. So I guess now we'll soak all these cylinders and we'll see if we can get her spinning just a little more by hand, and probably gonna venture out and get us a 6-volt battery and do this the right way, because super red ram. All right, so we ain't got any schmutz in the engine besides what we dumped in the carburetor, but just gonna rock her back and forth as best we can. Oh my, it's turning more and more. Are you getting a good view of that?
Yeah, the harmonic balance. Huh?
Oh my, no!
It's turning, buddy.
Oh my! We gotta...
You sure the key off?
Probably.
Look at that shit. I hear compression. Or something. Something's squawking.
Well, it's in reverse, I think. Let me go put it in neutral just in case that's actually... Well, so that's...
Turned quite a bit that way.
I'm gonna call that a freaking victory.
Yeah.
Did? Hang on. I did. We flipped the camera. We gotta get us both in shot. That's another one freaking unstuck. That was like no work at all, really. All right, so the real thing now is, let's fill the cylinders with schmutz. Let's let it soak in. And at some point, we'll get us a 6-volt battery. And one thing I'm gonna work on before we continue this video, for all you awesome guys and gals out there, one thing I'm gonna do is, one thing I did actually on the 69 300, that whether or not you've seen that series yet or not, local locksmith, and I'm just saying this, Keyman Locksmiths helped me. Yeah, I'm gonna try and get an original key made for this car, and so that way the next time we tune in, we'll hopefully have that key, we'll have a battery, and oh my. But I just noticed something, Dad. She's leaking PB out of the remnants of the side pipes.
No shit.
Yeah, look at that, the two puddles. I just saw it through the floorboard. So she's getting the stuff moved out. That must be the hard spot or something. Must have been pushing all that fluid out. Yeah, for people who really didn't ever see the photo, this thing had some freaking cool side pipes on it. Like it was an old moonshine runner almost. And so our exhaust is basically already set up for us. I mean, it's already done, so we ain't got to do anything else to that exhaust. 270 Hemi, screaming like a band. Ooh. Oh, you know where this is going. Hang on. All right, we're going for a little parts adventure. So do we go straight for John Masmanian's funny car CUDA zoomies? Do we go straight for that, like his full-on Krager funny car zoomies? Or do we go for some of the homemade? Oh man, my homemade zoomies really suck in comparison to these things.
Our Krager.
They do say Krager. So think we can retrofit those on the 55 somehow?
I got a bad feeling.
Well, I'm kind of thinking that just probably one of those exhaust tubes would probably be plenty for that entire engine. Yeah. All right. Well, all right. Plan B. We'll just leave it cut. All righty. Well, that would be spark plug hole number 7. That is the last one to be filled. Filled the carburetor up with stuff, and actually the accelerator pump sounds like it's working. Funnily enough, and actually we got the throttle working on the carburetor. It's a little sticky, but we got stuff in there soaking down on the throttle shafts. Like I said, all the cylinders got about 2 to 3 glugs of the good juice. I guess you just did number 5.
Yeah.
Whoops. So yeah. So we got her turning, and now it's just let the fluid soak past the rings and basically the waiting game, which will be fun for you guys because it'll be like 3 seconds, but for us it'll be like a week. So here's to that. Well, that is where she is gonna sit for now while she soaks. And well, of course, we're gonna have to get something to cover the back glass. Hope we can find one of those, along with all these missing pieces of trim and whatnot. But yeah, we'll be throwing these into the pile. And yeah, if anybody needs any of this kind of sheet metal, you just drop a comment down below, and I know we definitely don't need it all. Ooh. Alrighty, so you guys may or may not remember when I said it would be an instant for you, but like a week for us. That week has transpired because Anna got an ignition switch done for us at the local locksmith. Keyman, thank you again for that. So now we got this. So we'll be able to actually use the key and everything. And this is the original switch, so we get to keep that. Dad, how do you feel about the spark plugs?
Well, pull the spark plugs out, and we got the cylinders, oil in the cylinders.
That's Dad's job. He's gonna work on that. We got a 6-volt battery for this. Oh, here. Yeah, right there. And then the button is.
You got a button?
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
And the hood opens up so far.
Oh yeah. This hood opens up a whole bunch.
Water on the fenders.
Yeah, we'll wipe some of that down. So yeah, I was keeping the car covered, and the car cover decided it didn't want to be on here anymore, so it yeeted itself off the other night. So I'm gonna put ignition switch in here. We've got 6-volt battery, like I said. This is a 6-volt positive ground, or no, it's not positive ground. This is
Yeah,
what is it?
positive ground.
Okay, this is positive ground. Yeah.
So the ground, this will go to the positive post, not the negative, and it goes right to the block.
Oh look, we actually do have a cable. Look at this one.
And that one goes right
Look at-
to the negative ground.
Look at how nice these cables actually are. I mean,
pretty loose on the solenoid. I'll tighten that up.
Yeah, I sprayed that down with lubricant actually, so that way these, it might be why it's loose. I shot it with the knocker loose.
Some of the little wires I'm gonna have to visit one of these days. They got some.
Yeah, this is exactly. This is a lot how all the wiring is underneath the dash. It looks brand new, but yeah, it's all cloth and insulated like that. So the basic goal here is, well, continue where we left off. This thing was turning. All the cylinders may have leaked down. They may have fluid still in them. So pull the plugs, get the ignition switch put in here, battery, and just see if this thing will actually crank. Yeah.
Hopefully we don't bend any push rod.
Yeah, let's not have that happen. Might pull a valve cover. Oh, here's two more 55 Royal Lancer. Alrighty, so I just want to bring you guys along for a second, if you care to come along with me, as we venture underneath the dash of the 55. Now, I want to show you something pretty neat. Is this mechanism right here is your fresh air vents. Use your feet, nice little rubber pad. You see that door right there? Opens up, and that's fresh air. That's pretty neat. And underneath the dash is actually in really nice shape. All this stuff, in my opinion. There's all the ignition wires. I had to color code those. The braiding's a little miscolored on it. And maybe I'm getting a good view of this, I don't know. And I can't believe how nice all this looks underneath here. This is really nice. Like, look at the paint marker thing on this. Is the original glove box cardboard from 1955, or I don't know what the heck that actually might be made out of. That's our speaker grill and our lack of speaker, or lack of radio, because this is a radio delete car. And another delete panel there. Well, I'm just having fun looking at the underneath the dash, because it's kind of neat underneath here. Alrighty, so job done. Alrighty, so how's everything looking up on here, dude?
Yeah, I got the plugs out. I'm just tightening up a few connections.
Oh, you got the battery in.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to get done wiring before I hooked that up.
Yeah, all my wiring's done, so well, I guess we're almost to that time to see if this thing's gonna whirl over and spit stuff at us.
I got a bunch of rags if you wanna plug them holes, man.
Well, we missed that. We've been fighting connection issues, and Dad's just been crossing terminals over there, and he finally got it to spin. It came to life like an old robot. That starter sounded archaic. All right. Yep. Well.
That's kind of weird sounding.
Yeah, it was kind of starting to sound weird.
Got oil in it.
I wasn't checking. Well, of course the key isn't on or anything, so. Oh, it definitely,
Started squealing.
Yeah, it did. You would have figured all that. It sat there for a week with that fluid in there soaking, so. I don't know, maybe it would be, I don't know. That sound is kind of interesting.
I think that's the starter on the flywheel.
It probably is.
Going hard.
Old starter, old engine. It's over about 70 years old. Well, it is 70 years old now. 2025, 1955. There's your thought. She's been together for 70 years.
Right.
And she still cranks.
Probably gonna have to get one of our books out and see where all these wires go.
Yeah, we need to definitely do some addressing right there. That's all just, you know, it's kind of a miracle it works. Just wanted to see if it would, and now we can justify actually doing more with this thing. So we'll worry about getting spark and all that stuff another time. Right now, it's just getting this thing to where we can actually, you know, keep doing what we're doing without hearing weird sounds.
Yeah, we turn it over and then That'll knock out the rust ridge, you know, and maybe we gotta sauce it up and let it set again.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't be a bad idea. Just let her soak some more. But hey, we got the ignition switch in there, and we just got more electrical to do, as we always run into.
We got the battery.
We do.
That giant 6-volt battery.
That massive behemoth.
Negative, positive ground, positive ground.
Yep. So, this may be the conclusion for this episode. It may not be. It just depends on what you see next.
Alright, so what we're doing now, instead of rolling credits, we're going to clean all this mess off, because we're going to pull the valve cover. We're going to make sure the valves are actually being moved like they're supposed to. But we don't want to get all of this junk down in the engine. And there's quite a bit of that junk. So Dad's going to blow it off, then we're going to vacuum everything off, clean it up, and then we're going to pull the valve covers, inspect everything in there, and we'll bring you guys along for that, because, well, it's going to be interesting to see just how nice or how crappy this old Super Red Ram 270 is inside. The stuff I film. If you don't live out in the country, you need to. And make sure those will come out.
That'll give me something to lift on.
Yeah, sometimes those can get growed in there. You just don't want to try and caveman them out and ruin them. Oh, there went one of the washers. Oh yeah, there's a little washer on there. And yep. This is what I'm saying, be careful with. Don't chew that lip up. This is what a lot of guys end up doing, is they destroy them. There we go.
A little sludge in there.
Yeah, that's a sign right there. It's looking like 50s oil.
People didn't never change oil.
Nope. I wonder where that washer went.
It's on the trailer.
All right, I'll go grab it. Well, we'll put them in the rag. There we go. Trying to get organized here and try and get a good shot of the valve cover coming off.
Ready?
Yep, ready for this potentially not so pretty reveal. Well, it doesn't look as cakey as I figured it would be. It's kind of cute looking though, looks like a bread pan. And wow, that's some sludge. That's not surprising. Yep. You can the casting numbers are no longer casting numbers. They're just a bunch of stuff. All right, well, this basically means I just got to go get the rest of my 3 bolts out, and we'll probably see the other side look exactly the same. So we got one spark plug tube. It's being ignorant, and I refuse to caveman it out all the way. So we're just gonna let that one kind of soak. But this side, I sprayed it down with the free all crap we got here. It's just as sludgy as the other side. It's yeah, just what you'd expect out of a 50s era engine. Beautifully coated with well, dinosaur oil basically. But it's still got oil in there, so that's a good thing.
It ain't that dirty either.
No, so I guess now we're gonna crank her over and check the valves and make sure everything's moving like it's supposed to. Oh, these guys are moving.
Yeah, these are all moving.
That's good news. We definitely need to address the electrical system before we keep messing with this thing. Because, yeah, touching terminals, that's not, you know. But at least everything's turning, all the lifters, all the valves are moving. So, you know, the engine is at least doing what it's supposed to. No stuck valves. Welcome back, everybody. So, join me here with the 55. This is going to be a little bit of a strange part to the video because we're doing something besides engine related stuff. In the background, I took the 4 steel wheels that came with the car. They're supposedly the original 15x5s. blasted them completely clean, primed them, painted them, did all that stuff, rust converted them, and now they're all this nice white. In fact, if I have the photos handy, I will include them. And that little break in the video is so that way future me knows, go find those photos and include them in there, because it's kind of neat how the factory painted these, because the centers were gray and then the outside was this kind of like white. This is actually almond, this color, and with the wide white that kind of extends out with the hubcap, so it makes the wide white tire even bigger. Unfortunately, we just wanted some cheap tires to get this old girl up on actual tires, and plus these will count as rollers, as long as the one that was already kind of down on air, surprisingly this morning, that one, that's the problem child. I knew it might be a problem child, the wheel, and might still be. Anyways, before I get too rambly, these are my buddy Jesse's 15x7 Steelies, so we got to return those. And so I figured, well, might as well make a set of wheels pretty that we can use as our own rollers. See? And if this thing ends up looking good with these, I got lucky and I had a whole bunch of cheap, brand new right-hand and left-handed lug nuts I had gotten off of Amazon. So we'll have some nice chromy lug nuts on the old 55 to dress her up. I do plan on getting the trim dug out and seeing what we got, and I got some plans. I got some trips planned out for scrap yards, junk yards, salvage yard crawls to help us try and find some parts for this old rare bird. But anyways, enough rambling. You know what I'm doing? So let's see if we can improve the looks of this thing with just a little wheel and tire swapping. Alrighty, out of hyperlapse because I didn't have to cut the wheel lip. I got it to fit. All I had to do was just like the Polara, put a jack under the suspension, more or less, your frame, let the suspension sag, and then the wheel just, it's on. Hold up. I thought the winch was tighter than that, had more tension. Oh. The winch is unhooked. Thank God. Well, that was a miracle in its own. The car, I had forgotten, was in neutral. The winch was not hooked up, and I am very thankful. That right there. Thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus. Watching out. That could have been really bad. So, well, with that experience, onto the fronts after we get this car pulled back up to the front of the trailer, because yeah, no more chances being taken. Run along, little doggy, run along. Head on home there, my little friend, to the 55. Oh, well, we're back, and it is not as beautiful as it was yesterday. Welcome to Kansas, my hometown, my homeland. So we're gonna go ahead and get this thing jacked up on the front. We're gonna go and get this job done. So the rear's taken care of. That's not a big deal. In fact, Dad and I last night were talking about how we want to maybe tackle this. This is like the worst of the body rot. Well, actually, this is the only of the body rot on this car at all. Really is right here. This is, and this fiberglass right here, which they conveniently removed this big wheel lip, which let me show you on the other side. Which, you know, guys always talk about big wheel lips. Let me introduce you to Lipzilla. This thing is literally at this point. I mean, that's like my whole dude right there. Oh, man. Oh, I just called my dude big. Oh, man. I'm sorry. Yeah, anyways. Oh yeah, let's just take a moment and appreciate the fact I have a 70 Charger right there. And just needs a 4-speed replaced because broke it drag racing, and this is what I'm choosing to spend my time on. Well, minus the hood being open now, I'm gonna say that was well freaking worth it. Alrighty folks, so that's gonna be about it for right now. Next time you see us, well, you'll see Dad and I fumbling on that 270 Super Red Ram some more. So hope you guys dig them wheels. They definitely do sprucing it up. It doesn't look so trailer park. So now it's time for us to, of course, trailer park this thing up with our own Scott Speed Shop motif, as we always do. So here's to that. Alrighty, so we are back on the old turquoise torpedo Super Red Ram 270 Hemi and our 55 Dodge, and you'll see some things have changed on them. We got the fins on there. We did a couple other videos, and well, I've been coming out and whirling this engine over with my breaker bar, just, you know, trying to get her lubed up, filled the carburetor up with ATF, trying to get the seals working. Actually got the gas pedal working and all hooked back up, and in fact this thing was squirting ATF the other day, so carburetor might be doing pretty good. But the big thing we need to address is this wiring, because, well, yeah, I don't think that's really kosher, if you catch my drift. You know, if you just, it's something about that's just, it's kind of like my gloves, you know. So we got ourselves a new 6-volt starter relay. We ordered a bunch of parts for this. You know, we know that's probably got to get replaced because the side studs are loose, and well, those wires again, you know, you just, yeah. And well, we got the factory service manual for this thing, and well, the wiring diagram on the factory service manual is a heck of a lot more simple than it is on this machine right now. So someone's probably done some hillbilly hotepery. But we will persevere, because once we can get this thing to where it basically cranks over and can basically almost run, then it justifies, you know, putting all the brake parts on that we ordered preemptively, because we kind of got faith this old girl might pop into life for us. So yeah, so we got to justify all those expensive early brake parts, because if you guys don't know, I can't wait to do the video because I'm going to show you, but on these early 50s Dodges, well actually all 50s Mopars, the front has a wheel cylinder at the top and at the bottom. It's got 2, and each one basically works on each shoe. Whereas normally, like on the rear, it's just like a normal deal where you got 1 wheel cylinder, it's pushing out on both shoes. There's 2 here, and believe it or not, that adds up really fast for prices. But we got all new rubber hoses and all that stuff, but that'll be another video down the road, because right now we are focused on trying to make this little baby Hemi do its thing. So here's to that. Well, alrighty, Dad. So, you're the star of the episode right now. And we are looking at all the dead soldiers here. All of the wires that did not make the cut. Literally did not make the cut. And up in here, we got all the rewire work. It's a little bit of everything, trying to keep the good original with splicing the new stuff. Service manual has paid dividends, which, by the way, the wiring diagram for this car is unbelievably simple. That's literally all it is. And you may notice this looks a little more complex than what that diagram really does show. And we ain't quite figured that out yet. All right, so we were sitting here. We had a little spark issue when we connect the, technically it's the negative cable because it's a 6-volt system, to the positive side. And well, we pulled every wire off of the horn relay there to test all those wires, and it kept sparking. We've already verified all those. So the next place was the voltage regulator. Look at how clean that thing looks inside. It looks brand spanking new. And Dad said there was bottom one, right?
Yeah, it was a little, see their points.
Yeah.
And a little click when I pulled this one loose, it clicked. Like maybe it was stuck or something.
That's very probable because now we don't have the sparky spark. You got spark?
Oh.
Sweet. Anna?
What?
You want to, since you actually have the key, do you want to crawl inside of the 55 and be in charge of cranking?
I can.
All right, Anna, see if she'll crank. Nothing? All right, so there's probably something wrong with that ignition switch. Probably shouldn't have trusted how they had the wires on the back of it. I already did. Hit it with the starter switch. That works.
Turning over pretty good.
That turns over, yeah. I can feel it. I can feel it, and it's actually moving the spark plug tubes up and down. I was gonna pull this valve cover since. All right, do you want to hit her again, dude? I just want to.
Ready?
Yeah. I can hear compression happening. And it ain't making that weird noise it was earlier, where it was.
Turn your key on, Anna. Key on. Ready?
Yeah. It's sparking down there. I'm watching that plug right there.
It's sparking?
Yeah, it's sparking, hanging down. I bet you this thing would probably run with a little bit of gas if we put everything back together.
It's fucking sparking?
That one down by the master cylinder right there.
There?
That one was sparking. I could hear it. In fact, I bet you if I would have just been paying attention to these ones beside me, these might have been the ones I was hearing sparking. Do it again. Yep.
Yep.
We got spark.
That some bitch ready to run.
So all we got to do is we got to turn the key on. Oh, we just need a push button, basically. We just need a push button.
Fix it right.
Push button.
We can go down to the farm store and buy a tractor ignition switch for this thing.
That is true. We didn't spend $80 on getting the original ignition switch done right. Anyways, folks, I want to tell you something that a long time in my life, Dad's always just said push button toggle switch. And the running joke there is, a long time ago when I was young, my first car was my first muscle car was my 73 Satellite. And it still is plagued with its push button toggle switch deal that was put together by the crackheads who had the car before us. We've replaced it about half a dozen times. And yeah, push button toggle switch is not a happy term to me because of that.
It's something up in the steering column.
Yeah, we got to fix that. We just never have. We've never cared. It's always just been easier to throw a fuse in there, which we have done that on both sides, and we've done all that crap. But just saying that when I say push button toggle switch time, that is me just saying I don't give a damn. It's better to have it running than not. So maybe we'll fix it right. We'll go down to the tractor store. Alrighty, so with me being in here and Dad being out there doing what he does best, being the wiring wizard he is, we'll close up at Dad right there. We now have switch, and if you actually look at the amp gauge there, it's doing stuff. So yeah. By the way, and I was watching one other guy on YouTube, or maybe it was the Dodge commercial, but so you got all your gauges, right? You got your amp gauge here, you got your fuel gauge, you got your speedometer, it goes up 120, not sure about that. Oil up to 80, and then your temperature, and then you got this guy. And you got this guy, it's blank, but you know, you can't really read that. What is that? That's your ashtray. I thought that was kind of neat. Yeah, okay. So, it's good. So now all we got to do is spark plugs, put it back together, maybe get some valve cover gaskets on the way for her, and if it fires up and everything really does keep going as good as it is, you know, might be time to put brakes on this daggone girl. So while Dad's actually doing, you know, like the super cool stuff that's making this thing into a functioning vehicle again, just gonna give Dad props there. I'm doing stuff like this. It's almost like panning for gold. We're trying to get all the little carbon deposits out of these old spark plugs, because
We ain't buying no new ones.
yeah, you know, like if you watch a lot of the common YouTube guys, they say new parts aren't reliable. So yeah, we'll use these old plugs here. These got to be like, I bet you these are almost like NOS now that I cleaned them up a little bit. They've been soaking in this brake cleaner juice for probably an hour now. This juice was black before, and yeah. So seriously, we are reusing the old plugs in this just because it's going to anger somebody out there, I imagine. But she'll probably get new plugs if she lights on those, because those were already sparking, so we know they're not going to be duds. And of course, the old wires, and that old distributor, and that's probably the original coil. It's just, the light is shining on that dog turd today.
Did you tell them what I had to do? Whoever we bought this from had that starter solenoid wire wrong. They had the hot wire going to the negative terminal, or the ground terminal, which can't say negative and positive on this thing.
It's opposite.
It'll throw you for a loop. But they go on the ground. They had the positive go on the ground. That's why the key switch wouldn't work. So now we have figured that out. I put red heat shrink on it, so we'll never make that mistake again.
Mixed up just a small amount of ATF with some gasoline to put in the carburetor, so that way that should lubricate. Plus it's gonna smoke like a diesel truck or a steam engine when it first fires up, if she fires up. But if she's got sparks, she's got some squeeze to her, so ought to run. Anna, you excited?
I am.
So Anna and I actually recently just did Erlene new plug wires and plugs, so Anna's learned a valuable lesson on what that can do for an engine. Alrighty, well, we got all the plugs and plug wires back in. We ran the firing order as by the book, which we're hoping this thing is not been screwed with there, which it might be. But we got the carburetor full of gas. It might be squirting, not really sure yet. And ready, Anna? Go for it. Well, that's what it sounds like with compression. Oh.
Ready?
Let me hook that charger up. So this is officially how dark it's getting, but if you guys want to see something cool, oh, there it is. Now, that looks way better in person than it does on camera.
It does. That is so cool.
Actually trying to crank it, by the way. It is camera visibility may not be the best, but we'll be trying.
Good. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
I'm pulling the choke off. Have you got a choke lever in there? I do not.
Oh god, that stinks. But it came alive for just a second.
Well, it's fired up!
It fired up!
Woo!
Fired up.
It fired up. Just for a second, and it stank to high heaven, but it fired.
Alrighty, so 55, we're gonna leave you for the night, let everything cool off and maybe soak in, and well, we'll catch you after the rain tomorrow. So, be back. Alrighty, Dad. It's a new day. We got Dad in the driver's seat. He's sitting there geeking out about the cool dash. We were just cranking it to test out this other battery we got. Different 6-volter to see if it'd have more juice. And while I was cranking it, the oil pressure gauge actually started climbing up and she's kind of starting to hit. So we just poured some gas down the old carburetor and Ray did.
I'm gonna hold it on the floor, pump it twice, hold it halfway down.
I'm gonna say use your best judgment there, Dad.
I'm gonna do the Norman E.
Norman E trick. 2 pumps, hold it halfway down.
Yeah.
Yep. Come on, old girl. Come on, baby. Come on, old girl. Alrighty. That old war dog, she's probably tired. I can smell the starter working.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see the oil pressure gauge move?
I got clear over halfway. Well, one thing we could do, I guess, is, I mean, not tonight, but maybe we ain't done nothing to the points or nothing.
No, we haven't even checked to make sure it's still sparking, so that'd probably be a good move. We kind of operating on the assumption that it's still getting good spark and may not be now, so. All right, another night. I'm not going to document it on video, but we got spark again. The coil wire apparently wiggled out of its place. So now we got spark again. Yeah, you ready?
Yeah, that's fine.
Go ahead. Come on, little Hemi. Come on! Come on, baby. Almost there. Let me get this choke handled. Already choke fixed. She was sounding like she was getting pretty close there, Dad.
Yeah.
Oop. All right, starter. Well, we had a moment. Try not to blind you with the light. Oil pressure still climbing, or is that stopped?
I can't see.
Oh, okay, can't see, okay.
I'm pretty sure it's climbing.
Oh, the dash lights do work. Could turn those on. But it would have already climbed down by now. Well, I guess this is going to be one of those things where we're going to go ahead and probably upgrade this cable here. It's a little small, and plus it's getting a little weak. It's not the tightest thing in the world, so we will continue this onslaught until this red ram runs. Cue the montage. So back here on the old 55 with Dad, and basically I'm not sure how much of this cranking and trying to get this thing started footage I'm gonna keep. Basically we have spent, I can't say, but maybe like 3 nights worth, 4 nights worth, maybe even 5 There's been a lot of attempts to try and get this thing, and Dad does not like how slow it cranks. And so here comes, what is that, hooking them in series, Dad? Yeah. And Dad also wants to make new battery cables for it because, well, the insulation's falling off and we know we're probably losing some juice through that way. So while Dad was gonna do that, he figured he might as well make some new cables just to go ahead and do this. And well, Dad knows what he's doing. I'm just watching him. But
the sun's going down.
That is true. Dad wanted to get this done so that way we'd be able to give this thing a shot and be able to hit this thing with twice as many amps as normal. And that's what the 6 volts is gonna need, because it's just the opposite of 12 volt. I'm not gonna try and explain that crap to you. That's that guy right there. And like I said, Dad's doing his battery cables, so at least this thing will have those new, and that's one less piece of wiring we got to worry about. So here's to it.
New starter cable.
Old starter cable, new starter cable.
This would be starter cable versus bullshit cable.
And we got these nice solder deals. We've used these on all the cars. So yeah.
Positive. This is a negative.
This should work so much better.
Yeah, let's put it in the vise.
Yep. So if no one's ever done this before, it's pretty simple. There's a little lead guy in there with some flux. We heat it up with the old MAP gas torch, and then we take the battery cable and we ram it in there when it's all molten, solidifies, put a little bit of heat shrink on the end of it, bada bing, bada boom, good to go. So basically watch that little center right there. It'll kind of pop like a zit and go shooting straight up, like a really gross whitehead kind of in a way. I might just talk enough until we get it to do its thing, because it's pretty gross, but it's kind of cool. Oh, here we go. Oh, there it went.
That zit is this rosin.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yep. And that's how you do that. Like I said, put a little bit of heat shrink on that. Good to go. Clean it up, and we'll do the other end and do this about, what is it, 4 more times? So here's to it. And just like that, we got 1 new cable all done up. So now just got to make a whole bunch more. By the way, a little shout out to this EMSD heat shrink kit we got on sale. That's pretty awesome. It's a nice little set. Alrighty, well, we now got both those batteries hooked up. They should be 6 volt, as Dad just said. He just double checked everything. Got everything made. Looks pretty daggone nice. Dad, you ready for camera action?
Yeah. Let's see how she turns over with all these amps.
Yeah.
Staying alive. Staying alive. Look at that. What do you think about that, guys? Yee, doggy. Listen to that old baby purr. Can you believe that? Baloney. Boy, sparks out the dog. Can you believe that baloney? Sounded pretty good too.
I know.
Wasn't knocking or nothing. I think she ran out of gas.
Yeah, probably ran out of gas. Okay.
He ain't got no gas. He ain't got no gas.
Uncle Earl.
Oh, girl.
Who knows that movie reference? Nobody. Okay.
This is all big truck technology here. Big truck. Big truck. These batteries actually come out of an electric forklift. And there was like 10 of them in that forklift. And we put all new batteries in, and they were going to throw these away. So I checked them. They checked good. The load tester checked good. Still holding their 6 volt, 6.2, 6.3. So I said, shoot, I'll try them in the old 55, staying alive, 55. Maybe we ought to just, like, try to find, I know it's got a dipstick somewhere. Let's see what the old dipstick shows. After running a little bit, let's see, is that a little bit of condensation there, or is that just foamy oil? That's just foamy oil. Oh, the oil don't look too bad. All right, I'm gonna try to put this back in there. Where in the heck did it go? It's right there. Yeah, the double battery probably won't be it. We'll just get it loosened up. Probably won't need the double batteries.
This has got a little bit of ATF in it, not very much. All right, let's see how that operates. I don't know how much I actually got in there, but
Oh, you reckon I need to pull the choke off?
no, it's already off. That's what
Okay.
the screwdriver's doing.
Okay.
Alrighty, here we go. Second attempt. Well, second. Should be second fire. Alright. Catchphrase again, Dad, since it's for good luck.
Staying alive in 55. Oh, 55, staying alive. Baby Hemi, red.
Oh, we gotta keep that on. Oh, and there she went. Yeah, that was actually really good for oil pressure.
Why you got parking lights on?
Oh, are my parking lights on?
You know they were?
No. Hang on, I gotta walk around back and see if anything else is on. Oh my! Oh, oh, that's the coolest thing ever! Oh my God, come look at this. Hurry, Dad, fast. You ready, Dad?
Let's look at it.
Look at that. The one tail light working, but isn't that just...
There's something working down in here.
Oh, there is. Oh, there's another bulb. So I think this actually, so these are really expensive on eBay, but this just justified it, I think, because the higher trim model got these slats in it,
That's cool.
and the lower trim model didn't have the slats or these spears on the side.
Ain't that neato?
That is beyond cool. Oh, let's see here. Oh, look at that. Oh, if this thing probably had, I wonder why that headlight's not, I may not even have the actual headlights on, I don't know. Oh, this is just beyond cool. Alrighty, so we're gonna go for one more run, so literally just filling up the float bowl here one more time. Alrighty, so we're gonna let Dad sit in the old 55.
And alive.
Alright, you ready, Dad? Give her a shot. Yeah, valve cover gasket's on the way, but the place we ordered them from said the wrong thing. Not exactly sure if that's the bearings on the generator or what, but the Hemi itself, I mean, you couldn't ask for anything better than that, really. That's freaking awesome. 55, staying alive. And there she is. Well, folks, we did it. Whether it was right or wrong, we did it. Oh, this is a great moment, dude. Literally one hit and it just fired right up and we got 3 little runs out of her.
That's cool.
Heck yeah. How was the oil pressure on the inside?
Oh, it's over there 3/4 away.
Yeah, it's got killer oil pressure. I love that. So,
yeah, a few more heat soaking like that.
yep.
The rings on it start coming loose.
Yeah, I mean, it sounded really good. It had a little bit of smoke on the passenger side there for a bit, and the driver's side cleaned up, but seemed like it was really responsive. I heard 4 on this side, 4 on that side. So this thing, I mean, it literally just justified buying side pipes for it. Gosh darn it.
Super red rain.
Super red rain. So folks, pardon my hair, but it has been a day, dude.
It's been a long day.
Heck of a good job. Ready? That is one more baby Hemi under our belt. So, always guys, gals, if you thought that was neat, like, share, comment, do all that kind of neat stuff that people on YouTube do, and we'll catch you next time with the old 55, the turquoise torpedo. All right. So, see you guys next time. As always, take care and
Bye-bye.
bye-bye.